I'm sorry if this whole thing sounds a little rushed, but my fiancé Ryan, who I've been with for 7 years, told me today that he's not sure whether he wants to be with me anymore, and I realize it may sound stupid, but I love him so much, it feels like my world is falling apart around me. I don't know what I can do. This all started a couple days ago when we were celebrating our anniversary. We invited a bunch of people, including one of my closest friends, Ellie. She noticed my fiancé being affectionate toward me and made some stupid comment about how she told me so that Ryan would be better for me than my ex Andy. My fiancé was a little confused and asked Ellie what she meant back when I was in college. Andy and Ryan both asked me out to the same event. I'd known Ryan since high school, and we'd always had a thing, but we weren't a couple. On top of that, he went to another college that was a half-hour drive away from me, and he went to my college. His dorm was a 5-minute walk away, and he was someone completely new. I began to feel like my relationship with Ryan wouldn't be exciting enough because we already knew almost everything about each other, with the added headache of being half an hour away from each other. Despite Ellie's protests, I decided to go with Andy. I know my reasoning is beyond stupid, but I never thought that this decision had the potential to blow up my future. Ryan was already hurt that I declined his request to go on a date. I didn't want to make him feel worse by telling him that I was going with someone else, not that it mattered because he stopped talking to me about 6 months. During this time, it became obvious that me and Andy weren't right for each other, so we ended it. When me and Ryan began talking again, I realized how much I missed him and that he was perfect for me, so I asked him out. He was overjoyed, and that's how we got to this point. For the rest of the party, I could tell that his mood was off. He kept pulling away from my kisses, touches, and responded to me with short one-sentence answers. After the party, when I asked him what was wrong, he just said that he felt sick. For the next 2 days, he continued to be cold and distant. I had no idea what was happening, so I waited patiently for him to become comfortable enough to tell me. Today, he told me the reason he'd been acting off from the story. It sounded like I had kept him as my backup or plan B in case my relationship with Andy failed, and that it was especially messed up since we obviously had feelings for each other long before then. He also said that he deserved to be someone's first choice. I thought that this was just an insecurity that we could get see our relationship in the same light anymore, so it might be best if we split up. I pleaded with him that we don't need to take it that far and that we should go to counseling or even just live separately for a few days while he thinks about whether this is what he actually wants. So far, he hasn't said anything except that he absolutely refuses to go to therapy. I tell that this is weighing on him heavily because he's been drinking more than usual, but I don't know what to say to make him feel better. We've had a beautiful relationship. He's never been overly jealous or possessive, and although neither of us are perfect, I couldn't ask for a more loving, respectful, intelligent and charming soon-to-be husband. I don't understand how all of that could come to an end for a foolish mistake that I made 7 years ago. I don't know what I'm looking for by posting on here, but if anyone has any advice, please let me know. Edit. I think I may have messed up on my wording. He doesn't care that I dated someone else before him. It bothers him that I had the choice between him or Andy and I chose Andy. First love from college who cheated on me, heard me now wants to be part of my life after over 15 years. She just got divorced. Her husband left her for a younger woman. She is 36. I'm 38. Her husband is 43 and left her for a 23-year-old Swedish girl at his work. She has 3 kids with him, 1 8 and 2 young ones, 3 and 4. She contacted me on Facebook saying she couldn't breathe when she saw my face again. She said I was so handsome and that she aged and all this stuff. Saw me on the alumna page of our college when I decided to join the group. I decided to answer her back pretending to be friendly, but the pain came back. I forgot about this woman, and it took me 3 years to get over her and move on. I still remember her making a pact with some girls in our class saying she would never date me. That's what one of the girls told me she said, and the other girls told her I was weak, not good enough for her. She deserves a strong man. All these weird things that made no sense. It was like they were jealous and planting seeds in her head. I still remember telling her you shouldn't tell those girls everything about our life. If you even say something like you were sad or hurt, they will try to plant seeds. She cried and said she didn't know how to trust while she trusted them over and ended up cheating, making out with 10 people including mutual friends, and 2 of the girls who I thought were our close friends was around mid-2000s. She claims she was drunk. She tried to work things out with me, but the trust was broken. I tried, but couldn't do it, so I just left. He was hard missing her and holding her in her smile. I only got over her when a friend of ours ran into me at the bookstore and we talked about old times, and I asked about her, told me she moved on from me real quick. She never asked about me. She never missed me. She started dating several guys, etc., including one of our friends. All my friends were basically her friends as well. What's sad is I was friends with them first, and then she came along, and I decided these were not good people to be around. They all hid what she did away from me and all told her negative things about me. She ended up getting married. This what she told me in her post, and said she saw me during COVID. She still works and said she was so grateful for being able to have a high-paying job during this time, and I told her I was laid off in a bum. To try to get her to lose interest more, she said her husband cheated on her, told her one day that he met another woman in Sugar. She couldn't stop crying. He left her in 2019, and she tried to fight for their marriage, but he said he got his mistress pregnant, and they finalized the divorce quickly. She said she wants full custody, but he gets to have them from time to time. He said there was the least he could do for the pain he caused. She told me this was the man her sister and girlfriends all picked for her. They basically approved him. He wasn't a good-looking guy, not charming, but he had a head on his shoulders and took care of his mom and family. She told me this was the guy she chose over me. And when she said that, she started crying. She asked me about my life, and if I was married or had kids. I said no, so she messages me showing pics of us together, and like everything was like old times, and I'm getting enraged. Her. Like, how the hell does this woman think everything is good? Does she not know how she ended our relationship? She took their side over me. She left me for dead. She never cared to check up on me, and now she only contacts me when she lost her looks. Her husband left her and used her. I remain calm, and she asks to hear my voice. She said, "Can I call you?" I don't know. I figured okay, and the moment I say hello, she starts crying. She said, "I can't believe that my stomach is empty. I miss your voice. I can't breathe," and it's real tears like flowing. And I said, "Are you okay? Don't cry." She tells me she couldn't stop thinking about me, how I used to smile at her, how I was so spontaneous and would make her laugh and charming, and she said she remembered the colonial war, everything. I'm on the phone containing myself because of mixed feelings. Hear him happy and sad, happy to hear from the woman I loved many moons ago, and sad because she stabbed me in the back and never gave a crap about me. She texts me and says, "I'm sorry." I text back and say, "Sorry for what?" She can't answer. She said, "I can see you in person." It's easier for me to explain. I said it's best we not meet in person with this COVID and all. She said, "No, they let you go out to eat outside. We can catch a bite. I need to see you or it'll crumble." I can't. She told me she listened to the wrong advice and should have listened to me, but she struggled. She told me she cried for days struggling on what to do. She wanted to be with me, but they told her I was a bum and will never be anything, and that was pretty boy, and pretty boys always cheat. So she cheated on me to get me to not like her anymore. She claims that why she made out with multiple people at a party because she knew I wouldn't stop loving her, and she said her friends and family didn't like me and she couldn't choose me over them. Then me being the caring person, I didn't want to hear that. She already been through so much and her husband left her. She has nobody, etc., so I said please don't bring that up. It's hurting me too. I don't wanna get angry, it's the past. Let's move forward, focus on your kids, and maybe some single father will date you and you guys can have a blended family or something. I asked my aunts and female cousins for advice, and they told me she is a devil, she is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't give her the time of. This woman never loved you. A woman who loves you will die for you. She will never want to see you hurt. You are a good man, you care too much, and she knows that. Why are you feeling sorry for her? My aunt then tells me, Ask yourself this: when you were hurting, was she there for you? If you were in her shoes, would she do the same for you? I said no. She wouldn't. Just recently, her girlfriends messaged me and said if I really loved her, I would give her a second chance. When I read that, I was pissed off. Loved her second chance. WTF about me. She broke me, left me for dead, and now they're trying to put a guilt trip on me like WTF. I just messaged back and said, I didn't mean to hurt her, but she left me for that guy. How would you feel? She said, I understand, but just cause she has 3 kids doesn't mean can't love you. She did love you before. Forgive her and move on. You ain't young yourself either. So this friend who I knew as well as talking to me like this, she was one of the girlfriends who advised her that it was no good. She hooked her up with that guy she married. So I'm saying to myself, if this girl really did love me, why is she still talking to this no good woman and having her message me? Then 2 days later, her father messages me saying my daughter is hurting here, and she would just like some closure. Could you at least give her, I'm shocked again, closure? Why do I need to give her what she wants when I wanted closure? She never gave me anything. She left me for dead. I can't believe that this is the man who hated me guts and loved that guy. She married the plain guy who cheated. Now he has the nerve to force me to get back with his daughter. This is crazy stuff, and I'm glad my aunts and cousins told me what the real truth is, and her father trying to get me to take her back after she was used up and tossed to the curb with 3 kids after this man even told her that her husband was much better man than me. In getting